All right, Leo, welcome back to Claire's Clarity. We are in August 2026. We're going to do your reading. My microphone cord has been coming in the way of things, but without it, you wouldn't be able to hear me so properly. This is the cleanest microphone I'm going to have, unfortunately, because I've been trying to use my laptop. Terrible microphone. Try to use the HD webcam. Terrible microphone. So I connect my iPhone for the continuity camera. It maybe connects for 3 to 5 minutes at a time, disconnects so you won't be able to hear me properly, reestablishes itself just to do it again. Not worth it. You could see that in another video where a couple people got, kind of gypped from the lovely microphone. So I pulled out the good stuff. I went into my camera equipment and I got a microphone. I actually tried a little smaller clip-on mic, and for some reason it was just registering as a headphone set and not as a proper external microphone. So much technical difficulties during Mercury in retrograde that I just decided it wasn't for me. Work with what I know, and this is like the third or fourth time I tried to do something, and if it just didn't work by then, I don't know. This happened to me when I tried to solder something for the first time, and I had a soldering kit for beginners, and I got really excited, and I totally short-circuited the entire thing. But then I tried and got a different kit and another kit and this and that. And I just kept trying to do things and buy extra stuff. And I was maybe $50 into what should have been a $10 little afternoon, project that just got so much more than what I was clearly capable of. And it was all this low quality junk, which is why it didn't last. But look at how my hands are trying to grip this. I cannot hold all of these cards. Let's take some cards out. We're going to cheat a little bit and take some of these cards out, shuffle what I can reach, throw in the rest. All right, Leo, let's go on about your career. I want to know what's going on in Leo's career. This could be about your education. This could be your money and career-wise, like how your overall reputation, research, development, you name it. I have a beautiful kitty cat. Oop, dropping a card next to her, and my Kiki cat next to me. She's a very gorgeous mouse. All right, we're going to cut the deck, reverse it when I flip it. This is Leo, August 2026, career. You have the Two of Wands reversed. So your career is telling me that you have personal goals, inner alignment, fear of unknown, fear of change, playing it safe, and some lack of planning in your career, okay? Why is this all happening? The Eight of Cups reversed. You're trying one more time. That's why this is happening. You're very indecisive. You're aimlessly drifting. You're clearly avoiding something, and it has to do with fear of change, fear of loss. So I think that in your career, currently, the energy that it's giving is that you have personal goals, okay? And you're keeping it safe because you're not really planning it out. You already have fear of unknown, fear of change. You just want to align with yourself, okay? This is happening because of this fear of loss or fear of change, and that you're going to aimlessly drift on in life, and that you're going to have to keep trying, and you're indecisive about that decision, whatever it may be. What's the external influence in your career, Leo? All right, you have the Ten of Wands reversed. People are seeing it as doing it all, carrying the burden, delegating, and they're just stressed and burnt out, okay? That's how other people are affecting you in your career, okay? Whether they're doing this to you or you're doing this to them, this is the external perspective. So I'm just trying to understand this a little bit better with your career, okay? It started because you had personal goals and inner alignment. And due to you playing it safe and your lack of planning, this is happening because you have to try more. And there's the fear of loss and fear of change you have to overcome. So the external influence that's happening is that other people are just doing it all. They're carrying the burden for you and they're delegating some things. It's kind of how I'm seeing the scenario play out. What else can you tell me about their career? Can you summarize it with this card? Ooh, the Tower upright. Okay, your career has some sudden change. There's upheaval, chaos, revelation, disaster, awakening, release, and sudden insight. 16 reduces to 7, which is about change and options. I love change and options. I think that's a great analogy because you're allowed to change your mind and you're allowed to be indecisive. And I think that, the whole point of an argumentative essay or to have an argument with somebody is that you want to educate them to maybe think about your perspective. You don't have to necessarily win at changing their mind, but you do have to get them to be open. And that's really hard. Most people will not open their eyes. They're only going to see what they want to see. And that's what's happening in your career. The summary is that there's a sudden change. And you're trying to prepare for that, clearly. Because what did I just say in the beginning? You're playing it safe because there's fear of unknown and you're not really planning it out. It's happening because there's fear of change. And to summarize, there will be some change in your life with that Tower card. And the external people are just dealing with it. They're burnt out. They've delegated enough. They're releasing it because they're overstressed. It's a very interesting read. I'm going to put the cards to the side so I don't accidentally keep reading them again. And if I keep talking, my throat, I feel like I never talk enough during the day. And then when I make my videos, I'm like 7 minutes in and I'm like, oh, so parched. Giving like ASMR next to the microphone. Drinking some water. All right, so you're going to have to deal with the little cord in the way, I suppose, because it's just going to be in the view. What else is going on, Leo? We talked about your career. Let's move the energy into your love life. I love reading for a sign that I'm thinking about. Maybe I'm thinking about a Leo right now. So I'm not reading for me. I cannot do that. My energy can only read for other people. But it is interesting when I might be thinking about a Leo myself. A lot of Leos in my life, so really it doesn't matter because I noticed that even though they have the same sun sign, they're totally different people in different situations. All right, this is your love, Leo. We're going to shuffle it one more time. And I'm going to do maybe like a 3-card spread. I'm going to ask about what you're thinking, what they're thinking. And this will be for taken and singles. Okay, we're going to do 2 separate times for love. So if you're taken, okay, what's going on for taken Leos? Cutting the deck. This is you, Leo. This is you thinking about your person. The Emperor reversed, okay? They are domineering, they're controlling, they're reckless, they have lack of discipline, they're very rigid and stubborn, okay? They're kind of like a tyrant. That's who the person you're thinking about is, okay? And this is you being taken by them. This is you thinking about them. Why? Why do you think that they're reckless, stubborn, domineering, controlling? Why? Leo, it's the Death upright, okay? You're trying to end things, begin things, change things. There's a metamorphosis going on. So there's an end of cycle here. This is potential breakup, okay? I said to read for the taken people. And if you're in a relationship right now, okay, this is what you're thinking about your person. You feel like they don't have discipline. They're reckless, they're stubborn, and they're way too controlling. And I kind of asked for more information on this, and it's because you're trying to end things. There's transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of cycle. Okay. But what about the person? What do they think about you, Leo? What does this person think about in your relationship with them? The Queen of Wands reverse. They think that you have self-respect, that you are self-confident, and there's a bit of insecurity that comes behind that self-confidence. They think you're also insecure and jealous because you're so selfish. There must be something wrong with you, Leo. They do see the self-confidence. They see the introverted self of you, a lot of respect that you have. And I wonder if they're jealous or they're insecure, or that they're going to use your little bits of jealousy and insecurity against you, Leo. That would be very interesting. Why? Why does this person think this way of Leo? The Five of Cups reversed. Because you're moving on and you're finding peace, and there's personal setbacks and self-forgiveness. So I think that you know what? Whether you're actually going to leave this person or not, I think that you are enjoying your time with them. And you might have to cut the cord or cut spending as much time with this person, but I think that you're going to end up breaking up with them, or kind of just removing yourself for a little bit until you're ready to be with them, because they're just not for you, and they're clearly clashing with you back. Okay, because what I saw here, these four beautiful cards, you think that they are way too controlling, and you need to change things because it's not working for you. They think that you're super insecure and jealous and selfish and way too confident and arrogant and blah, 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 blah. And they also think that they need to move on and accept this. No. Right? Hold on. I'm confusing myself. This is you. This is them. So you think of this person, and they think of you this way. So I said that they thought that you were a bit jealous and insecure, and it's because of you moving on and you kind of having your own personal setbacks in life. That was pretty deep. All right, let's read about your. I feel like once the stack gets bigger, there's only so much I could say before I have to shove them back in. But this is just for love. Now that I'm changing things up, because I don't want to keep having to pull out the same cards. I feel like also if the cards really wanted to say that message, it'll find a way in another card to explain it all over again. All right, if you are single Leos, what's going on? Do you have anybody, or are you just kind of rocking and rolling in August? Sometimes, things go by so fast and you never can understand. I feel like even though I put these cards to the side, I should probably, since I'm shuffling them, I might as well put them back in. All right. This is your single Leos. I'm trying to really shuffle those old cards. Give it a few good twists and turns. One more time without being a wackadoodle. I'm only gonna do these, then I'll bring them back in. Ooh, that was chunky. All right, a cut on what's going on with the single Leos. All right, Leo, this is you thinking of this person. What do you think of this person if you are single, Leo? The Page of Wands upright. You think that they are an inspiration, a free spirit. They have a lot of discovery, excitement, limitless potential. I'm going to read this all over. Oops. Ideas and freedom. That's what it is. So inspiration, ideas, discovery, free spirit, freedom itself. This is what you think of when you think of this person, okay? What else can you tell me about this person that's in your circle, your situation, okay? It is the Four of Wands upright. So it's joy, it's harmony, it's marriage, it's home, homecoming. It's very sweet. I like this. This is actually a supportive read for the singles, okay? There's a lot of happiness with this person when you see them. I think you genuinely like them, okay? What about them, Leo? How do they perceive you back? If this is how you perceive them, how does Leo get perceived? Oh, it's your card. It's the Sun upright. They see you as somebody with positivity and pleasure and warmth and success. I think this is really sweet. What else can you tell me about this? Okay. The High Priestess reverse. They also see you as somebody who might be a bit shallow, withdrawn, disconnected from your intuition. There's some secrets, okay? Harm and hidden agenda, ignorance, selfishness. So this is interesting, okay? They like you, but they feel like there's another side to you they're not so sure about, and they don't know if they should really even dabble into this, okay? Leo, Leo, Leo. Should you pursue this person? And is this person interested in you? Yes, it's the yes card. If you pursue this person, I see there's egotism, there's private achievements, there's something about a lack of recognition or lack of confidence, okay? It's not a popular thing. But it is a Leo card getting a Leo read. It's just reversed, okay? Because if this was upright, it would be a bit more outright, but it's private. Because if this was upright, it's about public recognition, progress, and victory. Because it's reversed, it just means that it's not so popular. It is discredited. It's lack of recognition. So you're not going to be seen with this person, I think. Oh, my palms are itchy. That's good for me. I love when my palms are itchy. I feel like, what's that telling me? The tarot cards to scratch it for me. Ooh. All right. There's only so much I could keep reading about this, Leo. I feel like I'm going to keep misinterpreting if I play further into this. But I think it could be joyous in August. I don't think it's going to obviously go any further, is what it's telling me. But in the meanwhile, you guys look like you're having a good time. I think they like you. You like them. You both feel really good with each other. But if you were to put it out in public, it's not. So maybe keep this as a situationship because anything further isn't really working out with you guys. Oh, my little baby hands trying to hold these cards. I tell you, I got to get the mini set. But when I buy the mini sets, they suck because they split and they break and they're just not all that great. So I just buy whatever's standard. Standard online, make it easier. But I want to get the Love Oracle cards. I've already put like $10 into this set. So I kind of want to make my $10 back before I put in more money on more sets. Because I've seen people have stacks of tarot cards. Like that was going to really help them achieve their answers. And I think it has to do with how you are capable of reading. And if you are able to have that personality, because like you can read, but if you can't really read the message to the person, then it's not going to read right. All right, Leo, we did your career, we did your love. Let's talk about your money. Money in August. Tell me about Leo's money in August. What is going on currently with their money for August 2026? Cut the deck once in half and flip it. Woo! All right, we have the Five of Swords reversed. It cannot get worse, only upward. Recovery, generation, resisting an inevitable end. Interesting. Okay, so if this card was upright, it would be about painful endings and betrayal and loss, but it's not. It's basically like you're already at the bottom of the barrel and now there's no point but getting somewhere else. And I think with your money, if you've been poor or poverty or low in the food pantry, resources are bare, it's finally going to turn around because it's literally saying it can't get any worse than this. Like you have zero. Like what else can you divide out of zero? Nothing. You already have nothing to begin with. So whether your budget has been super tight or you've been stuck in a routine of paying things, it's finally coming to an end. I see it's like looking and begging for momentum. It's scrounging for energy to change this, okay? What else is going on with Leo's money? The Tower reversed. So you're going to have some personal transformation. There is fear of change with this money card, averts or delays with money, which could totally suck because I understand when payroll makes a mistake. Like, how am I supposed to wait until next pay cycle? There's suffering with money, and it's going to have to collapse. It's going to get very stormy, but throughout the time, you'll be a bit restless. What else is going on with their money? So what's causing their money problems? Why is money changing in their life? What's this change with money? Why is there a delay? Why is there transformation? Why is there like this whole can't, escape the inevitable situation? Five of Swords upright. It's because of a conflict. There was a disagreement or a competition, winning at all costs, being sneaky, bullies, theft. So I think you're paying the piper here. This seems like it's a karmic card. I think, for every dollar you stole or swiped or did something not realizing, you're paying it back on. And maybe this could be fines, tickets, bullshit, fees, whatever. And until you pay your debts, you pay your dues, you're kind of stuck in this money. This money of, oh my gosh, I'm working, but I have nothing. Okay, what else is going to happen to their money in August 2026? Can you give me a summary of their money? One last summary. The Six of Swords. Okay, Six of Swords reversed. You're going to have personal transition. Again, you're resistant to change. There's unfinished business and emotional baggage. So this was a very emotional read when it came to your money, Leo. It was basically describing that everywhere you looked with your money, you were basically going to have to transpire and overcome and persevere. I don't see you making extra money. I don't see your money looking good or sharp. I just see you exactly in a pay your debts and dues situation until you could get to the next spot. I mean, I pulled 4 cards for it to kind of give the same idea. It was 3 of them were swords and 1 of them was a tower. Okay. So to have 3 also being reversed, that's giving here. There's instability, there's movement, there is again change and manifestation, recognition, continuations, realizations, continuations. That's so funny how I read it. I'm sorry, I'm reading the card sideways, like beg to differ here. Okay. I'm trying to get a better understanding of these cards, but it's not making any sense. Like this is so jumbled up. Bottom line, what I'm getting is that you had nothing. You're trying to change that. You're trying to get more money, but no matter what you do, you're still stuck. You're still in a shitty fucking situation trying to get all your money in a row and work things out. And you just have to get through your unfinished business. Stop being sneaky. Don't steal anything. Don't bully people. And maybe the emotional baggage could be released. Until then, your money energy seems very stuck. Crazy, Leo. Okay. Let me kind of shimmy these cards randomly back in the deck. We'll shuffle, and then we will do Aries to Pisces. All signs and what they could share and how they're feeling about Leo. Leo the Lion. uncut, and then I like to just read it out because it's easier for me. Do you like the candle? I like putting the candle for the ambiance. I feel like it looks very, very nice. Okay. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. I think I did not skip anybody. I'm really hoping I didn't. Okay. Without me screwing with this, let me kind of spread out our favorite cards here. Okay. Leo, if you are dealing with an Aries, it is the Nine of Cups reversed, okay? This is a yes card. They are somebody who has a lack of inner joy, smugness, they're dissatisfied, they're indulgent, they're super materialistic, but they have inner happiness, okay? I don't know how you can relate to this if you have an Aries in your life that's similar, but the answer is yes. If you have a Taurus, it is a yes. Queen of Wands upright. This Taurus has a lot of courage, confident, independence. They're focused. It says there's a zest for life here. They're determined and there is joy. So I hope they bring joy if you pursue it. What's going on with Gemini, Leo? It is a no, okay? It is the Seven of Pentacles upright. There's somebody that's going for long-term views. They're super hardworking. They're very persevering, and they have sustainable results. So they're working hard, and they're putting things to invest, whether it's knowledge, education, their career, their finances. They're just not ready to deal with you, Aries. So you're going to have to let the Gemini go. What's going on for Cancer? Leo, if you have a Cancer in your life, it's a yes. Knight of Cups. Right now, the Cancer has a lot of creativity. They're romantic. It's charm, imagination, beauty. They have like a knight in shining armor kind of appeal. It's talking about like following the heart. Okay. So they're very much Prince Charming. It's about like proposals. So I think this Cancer sign is totally swooning you, Leo. I think you can have a really good time with them. All right, Leo, what about yourself? A Leo and a Leo. It is a yes. It's the Queen of Cups upright. There's compassion. This Leo is very comforting, calm, they're nurturing, and it's healing you, okay? They're providing emotional stability in your life, and they could be super intuitive to your needs. They're also really caring with what you want. The Leo is a yes. Okay, if you have a Virgo in your life, Aries, it's also a yes. This is the Eight of Wands upright, okay? They are currently going through some kind of rapid action, movement, speed, swift change. They're manifesting quickly, okay? There's some quick decisions, and it says that they could be going through some kind of like air travel right now. Maybe they're on a plane. Is that relating to the person you're thinking about? This was Virgo, okay? Was what the Virgo's going through. They're like moving through, running through something. They're busy, okay? But they have you on their mind, and I think you're definitely thinking of them. All right, if you have a Libra, it is a yes. It's the King of Cups upright. The Libra is currently emotionally balanced for you, Leo. They have compassion for you. They're diplomatic. They have a lot of control and balance. It says they're supportive leaders. They're very tolerant and empathetic, okay? And that's what's going on with the Libras. It's a yes. They're very compassionate and empathetic to you right now. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, it's a yes, but it's the Fool reversed because this person's holding back. They're indecisive, they're hesitant, they're totally reckless, and they're going to make some bad choices, all right? It's about risk taking. I think the Scorpio likes you, but they're just not trying to be the fool here. So they are holding it back. Maybe you should say that you like them because they are definitely not going to do it if you don't. Okay, if you have a Sagittarius in your life, Leo, the answer is no. To them, this is a burden. It's extra responsibility. It's a lot of hard work, and they'd rather not deal with it. They're moving on. And Leo, if you have a Capricorn in your life, it's a yes, except the Ten of Cups is reversed here. So there's somebody that's going through like shattered dreams, okay? This Capricorn comes from a broken family. There is a lot of domestic disharmony. They don't really know how to make a deep connection. It's disconnected. They're misaligned and they're struggling with relationships. You could have fun with them. Do you want this right now? Probably not. I would tread lightly with the Capricorn. I think that they are interested, but they cannot give you anything right now. And I think you need to graciously understand that and just say, well, I'll keep you company, but I won't commit with you until you're ready for that commitment. All right, Leo, if you have an Aquarius in your life, this is our first maybes. We very rarely get maybes. It's the King of Swords upright. This is somebody who has their head over heart. They are disciplined, they're truthful, they're honest. They have some mental clarity, and they could be an authority figure. They have authority, which means they have power. This Aquarius is very disciplined and truthful, okay? Claire's clarity. It's the clarity card here, King of Swords. I think that you could maybe possibly open the door on this one. But you have to be prepared for what they can give you. All right, last is Pisces, Leo. If you are interested in a Pisces, it's a yes, except Six of Pentacles. They're focused on their self-care. They have a lot of unpaid debts to deal with. They also end up messing with their money with this whole one-sided charity scheme. The way I see one-sided charity is that maybe they're giving their money away to something that shouldn't be receiving that money, and here they are with debts that they really need to be paying. They have some strings attached, and they're dealing with like a power domination thing that you want to get into, but again, there's strings attached to them, and that's kind of like opening up the door to a maybe. But it is a yes card. So explore it, tread lightly. The advice I can share for you is that there is movement, balance, solutions, harmony, healing, and empathy. Okay, Leo, that's all I got for you in August 2026. I hope you have a fabulous birthday month as we continue on and celebrate our lovely sunborn signs. And I will reach back out in the next one. Hear from me soon. Talk later.